and welcome to Kel Knits. My name is Kelly and I am an Aussie knitter currently living in Germany. Yes, I am still in Germany. If you've watched any of my previous episodes, you will know that I am currently in the process of moving with my family back home to Australia. So I am currently filming from my husband's childhood bedroom as we're spending the last couple of nights here in Germany with my in-laws, and then we will be on the flight over to Australia, and I am so excited that I can barely even talk about it or think about it right now. So I don't have much time, but I wanted to do a quick podcast just to give you a little bit of an update about what I've been doing. Also, it's been a couple of weeks since I last had time to record, and I'm not sure when I will be able to do the next one, so I thought it would be nice to grab a little bit of time this afternoon and fill you in on what I've been working on and what I've been doing. We will leave some of the life stuff, and I'll tell you a little bit about what we've been up to the last few weeks, but we'll do that at the end because what we want to talk about up front and what we're all here for is the knitting. So let's get on to the knitting content. I have two kind of finished objects. Yeah, they're mostly finished. Not quite, but you'll see in a minute. So the first one that I have here is Willums summer overalls. And they're kind of finished because A, they're not yet blocked. And usually I am like, as soon as something's off the needles, I immediately block it. But because we've been traveling, it's just not possible at the moment. I'll wait till I get to my parents and we'll figure it out then. And also, I'm trying to put these on to show you how it will look. I need some little buttons here. I can't really hold it because these straps should come up the top here and cross over at the back. So it will look super, super, super cute. Did I say it already? Willums Summer Overalls by PetiteKnit. They've got these cute little legs, and then you rib around the body and create kind of a bib thing here, and there's some little buttonholes here, and then the top is folded over. It was quite a fun pattern. I knit most of this traveling in the car, so it was kind of a nice little portable pattern for that, and not there was a few different techniques and things, but not overly complicated. So I enjoyed it. It shows up on the photos, but not so much, I don't think, on the video. If you can see, there's a real difference between my ribbing here when I was working in ribbing in the round versus once I was ribbing back and forth. You can kind of see a little bit. It was suggested to me that perhaps I was accidentally knitting in the back through the back, or purling wrong, or one or the other, and it's very possible. As I said, this was knit on the go, but I don't think so. I think it might just be a tension issue, and hopefully it will sort itself out a little bit when I block it. But to be fair, I think it looks okay. I'm not really that bothered. The other thing about this pattern is that as I was knitting it, I realized, why did I choose this pattern? Because it looked adorable, I guess. But it's really pretty and practical as a baby knit, don't you think? I'd just forgotten. I mean, every time you want to change a nappy, you've got to take this whole thing off. If this I should mention is for my little baby nephew, who is just a few weeks old and who I will get to meet very soon. Babies are messy. And this is knit with superwash yarn. This is Filcolana Anina, and so it can go in the washing machine, I guess, which is fine. But the other reason why I thought it's maybe not super practical is because I need to add buttons, and I'd kind of forgotten. My little girl is a bit older now. I'd forgotten about, as babies, try to avoid buttons sometimes in case it becomes a choking hazard. Obviously, when I put the buttons on, I will make sure that they're really, really secure, so that's not a problem. But it was just a couple of things like that as I was knitting it, much as I enjoy the pattern, I thought this is probably not super practical, but it'll look adorable. It looks super tiny too, so I hope it fits. I knit the 3 to 6 years, 3 to 6 month size, but I didn't gauge swatch and I haven't even checked what my gauge is. But I tend to be a tighter knitter, so it probably is a little bit small. So hopefully we'll get him in these for a short period of time at least. I mentioned that I used a Filcolana Anina, and I love this yarn. It is so soft and beautiful. This is what I had left over from knitting my sand-on sweater, which I wore in my very first episode, if you wanted to have a look at that sweater. And it's just really lovely. So I had 2.5 balls left over. This took maybe 1 ball and a bit. Again, because I've been traveling, I usually weigh my, how much yarn I've used and all things like that. I haven't been doing any of that. But I have left 1 ball and a bit. So I'm thinking maybe, because I had a lot of fun doing a little baby knit, I might knit for him the baby vertebrae, which is a baby cardigan that has a really open front, kind of doesn't have a front, which if these overalls are maybe not the most practical baby knit, the baby vertebrae is a very practical knit. Babies make lots of mess down their front, so not having much of a front in the cardigan means that it should be quite practical, but keeps their little arms and back and all nice and cozy and warm. And I haven't actually even checked how much yarn I need for that pattern, but I would expect that I can get away with it. Just this much left. If not, I'll just make the sleeves a little bit cropped or something. So that's my baby knits. I have a second, almost, kind of, nearly finished object. And it is a shawl. Let me just figure out the right way to show you this one here, which is the lightweight hipster shawl by Locatelli. And it's nearly finished because I haven't blocked it. Same reason I haven't blocked the other one. Yeah, well, not doing that in this hemisphere. I'll do that when I'm down under. And also the pattern is meant to have tassels, little tassels, and I have enough yarn here left over to make some little tassels. I wasn't 100% sure if I wanted the tassels, but now that it's done, I think that could be quite nice, but I'm in no rush. I want to block it before I add the tassels anyway, so I'm not in any rush to do that. What else? This is knit in Biffsugar yarn and in the colorway Fruit Salad. Oh, sorry, this Filcolana Anina is the colorway Oatmeal. This is Fruit Salad, very cute. And this is given to me by the lovely Daniela, who is my Instagram friend, and we did a yarn swap, and this is what she sent to me. And it was really lovely to work with. It's really nice. I think it might be the first time I have used a variegated yarn, actually. And I found that quite a lot of fun, which is really, seeing the little speckles and the colors and kind of discovering how it knit up. Sorry, I have knit with variegated yarns, but socks. This is the first time I've done it in anything other than socks. The pattern's really nice, but yeah, I didn't love doing these little, what do you call them? Crossovers or whatever they are. Especially the last one, which I think it took me almost an hour just to do that row, and I was ready to throw it out the window because I was so over it. But it looks nice. I mean, we'll see again. I mean, am I going to get my fingers stuck through here? Is it going to be problematic? Maybe not. I don't know. You'll probably hear I don't sound super enthused about it, but I think that also might be because it needs to be blocked. I've knit a couple of shawls now, and particularly with lace, I found that when I finish knitting the shawl, I think, oh yeah, that was nice. But then when I block it, it's like, oh wow, and it just opens up and it's amazing. And I think, oh, it just transforms. So I'm hoping that kind of happens with this pattern too, because these look a bit wonky. Look how messy they are. They look really wonky and messy. So hopefully when it's properly blocked, they'll straighten up a bit. And also, you can't see it all. There's like a really pretty lace pattern in between the mesh here and again here, and with the variegated yarn you just can't see that. The pattern photos, Locatelli uses a variegated yarn as well, so which is why I thought it would work for this, and I think it does work. But as I was knitting these kind of lace sections, I did think to myself, what's the point? You can't see it. So it would be nice also to maybe do this pattern if I did it again, to do it in a solid color. So that's my lightweight hipster shawl. We're up in the top stairs here, so I may start sweating. It's a bit warm, but it's also it's shorter than I guess this is a one skein project. This is why I really wanted to knit this. It's a one skein shawl, and I love the idea of having one beautiful skein and making something beautiful out of it. And it's quite impressive really how much you do get out of one skein. And I haven't weighed this, but I still have, you know, a reasonable amount left, maybe, I don't know, 20 grams, I don't know. But it would, hopefully I do get a little bit of extra length when it's blocked, because I want more of these kind of projects in my future. Heads up, I have plans for many other maybe one or two skein light shawls, because I just think they are really practical. I will get a lot of wear out of them. I like the idea as well of a shawl that's long and not too deep. That's starting to sound a little bit like a scarf, but you know, not a scarf, not a rectangle, but that kind of very a lot of length but not too much depth, which stops it when you wrap it around your neck from being too bulky. I think that will make a really great seasonal, for those transition seasons, a great thing to wear. And I like to wear things like this around my neck, and the shawls that I've knit so far are probably a little bit, not all of them, but a little bit bulkier. So I thought this would be fun. So if you have any pattern suggestions, or you've knit any one skein or 1.5 skein light shawls along the lines of what I'm talking about, hit me out with your pattern suggestions, because I need to fill my queue with those, because I want to knit a few more. And I'm not sure I'll be knitting this pattern too soon, because I need a break from these little crisscrosses. Apologies as well if I am looking all over the place in this video. I usually don't. I film on my phone, and I usually don't look at myself. I'm looking at myself now. I usually have the viewfinder face the other way, because I think I get a better image there. But for whatever reason that you don't need to know about it, I've got it the other way today. But of course I keep looking at myself and I'm really distracting myself. So I'm going to try and look at the green dot. We'll do the best I can. Okay, so those are my two nearly finished objects. Almost finished. But I'm glad, you know, that I've got them both done. I also have a nearly finished, what do you call it? A nearly half finished object, which is just today actually, I put the toe on my socks. They're not quite a half finished object because I have no heel, because my plan is to do an afterthought heel, and I've never done that before. So I'll wait till I do the second sock. And then I will do the afterthought heels together at the same time, because if I do one now, I'll forget how it's done and then have to learn twice. And I wanted to get this finished and off my needles because I want to cast on, I've got the yarn here, I'm going to cast on the other one to take on the airplane with me. Because yeah, I'm not a massive sock knitter. I'm not a huge fan of knitting socks, to be honest, but it's been really nice having this as a kind of handbag project, something small, light, yeah, So I don't know how much knitting I will get done on the aeroplane. In theory, I've got lots of time for it. I don't know how long our flight is. What is it? 28 hours or something insane. But my experience with these flights is that you're a bit of a zombie as well. You get really tired. I can't concentrate on much. I do have another project that I'll show you in a minute that I want to cast on, ready for the flight. But I want to also go easy on myself, and I don't have expectations to get too much knitting done, really. I'll just binge watch some movies on that tiny little screen and yeah, go from there. So I might as well show you what is my other tomorrow cast on. I need to cast it on tomorrow because that's all the time I've got left. And I will talk about actually I'm so all over the place right now. I'll tell you in the context of what we've been up to the last couple of weeks, actually. So let me put that down. Oh, spoiler. So 3 weeks ago, all of our stuff was packed up. The removalist came, put everything in boxes, brought a shipping container, put it on there. It's now on a boat on its way to Australia. And that was a real relief to get that done, because even though I was working, I feel like I did so much work, I still didn't get everything that I wanted organized, done. But once it was done, once the removalist had arrived, my time was over. It just had to go, and it felt a lot better just to have it on the way. And then we could start and have a bit of a holiday, which was nice. So my daughter went to summer holiday camp and had a wonderful time. And my husband and I decided to head over to the UK. Our plans, for various reasons, changed a little bit. So it was a much shorter trip than we'd planned. So we were just there for 3 nights, which was a real fly into London, fly out again. I felt like we were just on the go the whole time because there was so much we wanted to do. But we did get a lot done, which was fun. We got to see, I got to see 2 theatre shows, and knitting may be my current love, but theatre is my first love, and it just fills my heart with so much joy when I get to go to the theatre. And the last few years, I really haven't seen very much at all. So the first night we went to see Back to the Future, the musical. Yes, they have turned that wonderful movie Back to the Future into a musical, and it was exactly what you would expect. It was fantastic. It was a heap of fun. I'd highly recommend it. And then on the last night, my husband wanted to do something different. I didn't want to do. So we decided to go our separate ways, which was perfectly acceptable. And I went back to the theatre and I went to see a play called Madhouse with, oh look, I've got right here, this one, Madhouse, which had David Harbour and Bill Pullman. And it was really good. It was very good. I'm pretty sure half the audience was there in order to see David Harbour. They were all Stranger Things fans. He's the cop on Stranger Things. But he did a brilliant job. So that was a lot of fun too. And one of the main reasons we're in London is because if my first love is the theatre, my husband's first love is food, and all things food. And I'd managed to get us a booking at the restaurant Fat Duck, which is Heston Blumenthal's restaurant. And if you know anything about, the food world, he is highly influential. And we used to watch this magnificent TV show he used to do called, was it Heston's Feasts? And he'd create all these insane creations, and he uses, I can't think of the words, uses like dry ice and liquid nitrogen, and also it's all chemistry. And to be honest, it is like theatre as well. It's a performance as well as eating a great meal. So that was something really, really special. And I got to catch up with my beautiful cousin, and I was all very happy. But I also got to a couple of yarn shops. Of course, we were there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the 2 yarn shops in the city were only open on Wednesday. But first, I then realised I could go to Liberty in London, and oh my goodness, like just take my money. That shop is beautiful. But of course we were only traveling with cabin luggage, so I had no space to buy anything, but I bought this lovely thing, which is West Yorkshire Spinners Exquisite 4-ply, 80% Falkland wool and 20% mulberry silk in black. Oh, cool. And I see this as a beautiful one skein shawl. Again, light, maybe lacy. Could be really lovely. And then, so then on the Wednesday, when the other yarn shops were open, I had like no time at all to get to them. But first I went to, so I was very madly running around, which, yeah, is my excuse for what happened later. But first I went to Beautiful Knitters. They give you this lovely, cute little bag, and it was a really sweet yarn shop. The lady there was quite lovely, and I got some cute little stitch markers that have got your decreases to help you know which one to do. And this one that I started to show before, which is West Yorkshire Spinners Bo Peep, 100% Falkland Islands wool. And I bought this, I had it kind of, you know, this was my intention all along, that I wanted this mustard colour to make on that trip home a Musselburgh hat. And I'm sure it's such a popular pattern, I'm sure most people know it. It's like a hat tube that then you fold, you push one end into the other, and anyway, I'll insert a picture. I don't think this colour really suits me, but I don't know. I'll get away with it with the dark hair, hopefully, because I don't know why. I am sure other people do this, where all of a sudden you get just fixated on an idea, and I wanted that hat and I wanted it in this colour. This is really lovely and soft, so I think it should be nice as a hat. So I need to get this cast on tomorrow, so I'm not casting anything on the aeroplane, so I can get it started and hopefully get some of this done on the flight home. After I was at Beautiful Knitters, I looked at my watch, thought, yeah, I can do it. Jumped on the tube, went to the other side of the city to get to Loop, which is the other really well-known yarn shop in London, and was there 15 minutes before they closed. A hot mess of a puddle because it was really hot. And kind of went in there, I was overwhelmed by all of the yarn. And I got this lovely thing there. I don't know if you can see that. The colour's a bit blown out here, but that's all right. It's Eden Cottage yarn, and it's their colourway Tide, and it's the Hayton 4-ply, 80% superfine merino and 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. So lovely and soft with that bit of cashmere. And now again, and I did try to, and this is what I'm getting to, is that I really do generally with my yarn purchases try to shop with intention. So again, I thought this would be a really nice one skein shawl, maybe two skein, no, not those two, but you never know. Or because again, it's nice and soft with the cashmere, it could make a really nice beanie or a hat or something. And then I bought another yarn, and it's the most expensive yarn I've ever bought, and I don't know why I bought it. Yeah, it's not my colors. I was such an impulse buy, and I walked out and thought, what? Why did I just get that? So it's this one here. It's not my colors at all. But in my defense, it feels like absolute butter. It's gorgeous. It feels so soft and lovely. And I just could, so it's hard to really regret it because it's gorgeous. This is Quaint fiber. I can't even read that. It's made of 79% cashmere, 21% silk. Yeah. Gelatina, I think is the colorway. Anyway, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. I think it's 300 meters, 25 grams, so it's not much to do anything with at all. Yeah, if you have any ideas, let me know. You know, I don't regret it. Sometimes we make decisions like this in the moment. We're feeling hot and flustered and we've got 5 minutes to shop in this lovely shop full of beautiful things, and sometimes we just grab something off the shelf and we're not really sure why. So maybe there was a reason. Maybe there's something, this is going to be something amazing, I'm sure. I just don't know what it is yet, so I'll figure that out. So that was our London trip and my yarn purchases there. Then we went to back to Germany and had a couple of nights in the Moselle region, wine tasting. Picked up my daughter and we were meant to come here to my in-laws, but unfortunately they had corona, so we couldn't. So we did a little bit more traveling around, but to be fair, we were pretty exhausted by that stage. We were ready to not be traveling anymore. So much as it was nice to see a few more different places, we then went along, saw some places along the Rhine and stayed in Wiesbaden and all really beautiful areas. I think we were kind of done. And it was a bit sad not to have as much time here with my in-laws as we wanted. But we've made it here now and are enjoying time with them. So that's all that I have for now. Next time I speak to you, I will be on the other side of the world. And I don't think it should be too long, but it might be a couple of weeks before I can podcast again. I'm going to be too busy just enjoying where I am and catching up with all my friends and family, and I can't wait. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're having an absolutely wonderful day. I hope you're knitting up some beautiful projects. Let me know what you're working on. As I said, if you have any tips for what I could make with this thing, it's lace weight. They recommend, I can't even see the needle size recommendation. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it's lace weight. Let me know, or if you have any pattern suggestions for, as I said, like really long, not too deep, lightweight shawl patterns, I would love to hear them. Otherwise, just generally let me know what you're working on, because it's always fun to hear. If you enjoy the video, of course, the usual thing, give it a little like, and you're welcome to please subscribe if you would like to see my other videos that are hopefully a little less rambly and a little less with me staring at myself. Apologies again for that. But I hope you're having a wonderful day and take care. And I should say my farewells today in German, so I will say bis bald and tschüss.